Hi, my name is Angelina Rodriguez, and I'm reading the Bible out loud to you in a way that's easier to understand. We are in the book of Genesis. I don't even know what that was. We're in the book of Genesis, and we're on chapter 48. Sometime later, Joseph was told, "Your father is ill." So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, along with him. When Jacob was told, "Your son Joseph has come to you," Israel rallied his strength and sat up on the bed. Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and there he blessed me and said to me, 'I am going to make you fruitful and increase your numbers. I will make you a community of peoples, and I will give you this land as an everlasting possession to your descendants after you.' Now then, your two sons born to you in Egypt before I came to you here will be reckoned as mine. Ephraim and Manasseh will be mine, just as Reuben and Simeon are mine. Any children born to you after them will be yours. In the territory they inherit, they will be reckoned under the names of their brothers. As I was returning from Padan, to my sorrow, Rachel died in the land of Canaan while we were still on the way, a little distance from Ephrath. So I buried her there, beside the road of Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. When Israel saw the sons of Joseph, he asked, 'Who are these?' 'They are the sons of God. They are the sons God has given me here,' Joseph said to his father. Then Israel said, 'Bring them to me so I may bless them.' Now Israel's eyes were failing because of old age, and he could hardly see. So Joseph brought his sons close to him, and his father kissed them and embraced them. Israel said to Joseph, 'I never expected to see your face again, and now God has allowed me to see your children too.' Then Joseph removed them from Israel's knees and bowed down with his face to the ground. And Joseph took time to them. And Joseph took both of them, Ephraim and his right, toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh on his left toward Israel's right hand, and brought them close to him. But Israel reached out his right hand and put it on Ephraim's heel, though he was the younger, and crossing his arms, he put his left hand on Manasseh's head, even though Manasseh was the firstborn. I'm going to stop right there. It's not the end and we're not done. I just want to cross-examine a little bit because that just left me, why are they touching each other's heels and hands? We need to figure this out, right? Okay. Then Joseph removed them from Israel's knee and bowed down with his face to the ground. Okay, so his children are sitting on his lap. Because it says, "I never expected to see your face again." So Israel says to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face again. And now God has allowed me to see your children too." So he removes the children from Joseph's lap, and Israel bows down to them in respect to the children. And Joseph took both of them, Ephraim on his right hand, toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh on his left toward Israel's right, and brought them close to him. Okay, so his brother's facing him, and he took the kids. Why do they make it sound so complicated? There's got to be a hidden meaning to this. But we're not searching for that right now. We're just searching for truth through the word that God delivers us. And when we're reading, that's really as far as we want to go. We don't want to go any further than that. Because God will show you when you're supposed to know what everything in here means. Right now, we just needed to understand the clear picture of what's happening in the physical. And he's explaining, he walks up to his brother who's facing him, and the children are facing him, and they're sitting on either side of his brother, and he takes them off of his knee and is looking at all of them, and he bows down. And that's that. It's just explaining a complicated scene. It's like a movie that we're painting inside of our heads. Okay, so we're at verse, making faces here. Verse 14. But Israel reached out his hand and put it on Ephraim's head. So he put it on the son's head, though he was the younger. And crossing his arms, he put his left hand on Manasseh's head. So he put his right hand on one and his left hand on the other, even though Manasseh was the firstborn. Then he blessed Joseph and said, so there is a significance to which hand you use when you're touching someone to anoint them, especially when it comes to children. So he's blessing the children in, and the firstborn normally would be touched with the right hand and the secondborn with the left hand, but instead he reaches over and touches the youngest with his right hand and the oldest with his left. And then he begins to say these words: may the God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked faithfully, the God who has been my shepherd all of my life to this day, the angel who has delivered me from all harm, may he bless these boys. May they be called by my name and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and may they increase greatly on the earth. When Joseph saw his brothers placing his right hand on Ephraim's head, he was displeased. So he took hold of his father's hand to move it to Ephraim's head, to Manasseh's head. Joseph said to him, no, my father, this one is the firstborn. Put your first hand on his head. But his father refused and said, I know, my son, I know. He too will become a people, and he too will become great. Nevertheless, his younger brother will be greater than he, and his descendants will become a group of nations. He blessed them that day and said, in your name will Israel pronounce this blessing. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh. So he put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, I am about to die, but God will be with you and take you back to the land of your fathers. And to you I give one more ridge of land than to your brothers, the ridge I took from the Amorites with my sword and my bow. So let's see if I can get this page. Okay. Oh, well, that's the end. That's the end of chapter 48. And that was really interesting. We learned something new. Like when you bless somebody, you're supposed to touch the firstborn with the right hand and not the left. But apparently it's more to do with the person that's going to be hierarchy is with your right hand, and a lesser is with your left. And to do so wrongly is an insult unless you explain yourself, even if it's with your own child or your own family. So I look forward to seeing you for chapter 49. If you want to catch up, all you got to do is grab a Bible, any type, and we're doing the New International Version. Read chapters 1 through 48 in the book of Genesis, or you can look me up at Jesus is a DJ, all one word, on YouTube, and I can read them for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe.